Well, here we are, Rosie's Audi. Let's see if it will start. And you know, it's been getting worse and worse and worse, and the battery hasn't been fully charging, and I thought it was a faulty alternator, but this morning I've diagnosed it as something else. Now I know it's good battery, it's very new battery, and according to this cheap and cheerful battery tester, it's only 15% charged. So let's see what happens. So I've put a jump lead from the negative on the battery right up to the engine. That's the way a car should start. Charge light's gone out. Right, the car's only ticking over. Let's see how many volts we get across the battery. 14.5 volts, just where it should be. Take off the jump lead, and we're getting 13.5 volts, which tells us that there certainly is an earth fault, because this jump lead isn't even getting a really good connection at the other end. Next day, so the battery is giving us 12.17 volts, and from the positive to my trusty jump lead, which is on the negative, we're getting 12.17 volts. So if I take the jump lead up to the front, I can see what we get up there. So from the jump lead, which we know is true, to the positive connector up the front here, we're getting 12.17 volts, which tells us that the positive has good integrity through its system to this point. Now I've taken the airbox out of this car and found that there is a earth connector on the starter motor just down there, where the solenoid joins onto the body of the car, and it comes back up and joins onto the chassis here behind the headlights, about a foot behind the headlights, maybe 6 inches in front of the engine mounting, straight onto the chassis. So it looks as if there isn't an earth wire straight from the battery to the front, which is, well, it's unusual, but then I'm a bit old-fashioned. So let's see what we've got. Now from the positive terminal, which we know is good now, to the earth terminal on the starter motor, we've got 12 volts, so we've got a volt drop there. And to the terminal on the chassis, we have 12.02 volts, and to the bolt head again we've got 12.02 volts. So we know that the voltage loss is before this lot, so let's go back to the battery. So I've just taken the polystyrene boot floor out, and I've found that the negative goes straight to the chassis, not a foot away from the battery. And lo and behold, there is a teeny weeny bit of corrosion at the back of the lug, so you can bet your bottom dollar that's where the problem is. So let's just see what we find. From the positive to the negative, 12.16 now, to the lug on the thing, 12.16. So it's in there somewhere. Whether you can see it, but there is evidence of arcing on the lug and on the dome-headed nut, which actually wasn't particularly tight. So I reckon if we clean those off, we've solved our problem. Now I don't like this car, never have done really, and if it has faults they're nearly always electrical ones, but Rosie likes it so we keep it. Anyway, I went up to the front and I found that actually the lugs weren't on very tightly. The nuts holding them down probably took an easy quarter of a turn, so I took them off and cleaned them all just for the sake of it. And what's been happening is the engine has been getting enough juice, electrical juice that is, to run, but when we've been trying to start it, the starter motor has been taking all that power, as much as it can get, not leaving enough for the electrical gubbins on the engine to work. Anyway, I hope this video helps somebody, and if it does, it'd be really helpful if you would subscribe.